向き、ついには自ら本当の自分を忘却してしまうほどに、俺は優しくて普通な空気モブの三森十日をずっと演じ続けてきたんだからな。
Yo, 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 it's your man MAS, back with more failure frame content. Alright, yep, we're still talking about failure frame. Definitely still a good watch so far, but in regards to just isekai shows in general, you gotta give it up, right? Touka is essentially the weakest isekai character compared to like overpowered main characters, right? And we're gonna get into it. What makes Touka the weakest of the isekai heroes, right? You got the shield hero, Subaru from ReZero. Every isekai main character typically has a unique ability, and we're not counting the isekais that are like, I got reincarnated as a vending machine. We're not gonna do that, right? That is a whole different category, right? But we're talking about all the isekai main characters that matter, right? The ones that matter, right? Touka is essentially the weakest one. Why is he the weakest one? He got no defense. We're keeping it like literal, right? Touka's probably, I don't want to say like the most offensive one, because his ability is OP in terms of like, I guess, you know, spreading ailments, and he just needs to say it. But in terms of defense, I don't think the man has any defense. You hear the terminology in football, all offense, no defense. The boy has no defense. If we're talking about isekai main characters, right? Subaru's probably the most defensive one, because that man can keep coming back and keep trying. If Touka gets taken out, that's it. Ain't no retrying, at least from what I see in the series. I don't know if his abilities become OP to the point that I guess he could resurrect people. I don't know he could resurrect himself. I do not know. We're just talking about the anime, right? So before people kind of get up in arms, Touka is very offensive, right? The man is a shooter. Granted, there are limitations to it, so he can shoot within a certain distance. If you're outside that distance, Touka, I mean, he might be able to use that slime that he, you know, the abilities to kind of stretch out further, right? But in terms of Touka's abilities, there are limitations to his offense. But his offense is damn good. It's not something to, you know, laugh off. His offense is damn good. But in terms of isekai characters, I don't think the boy can take a punch. He's the weakest. Like keep it keep it 1,000. If you watching this video, if you punch Touka, you think he go to eat it? Like, keep it a bean. Like, I feel like Touka just looks like fragile. He looks like he'll just tip over, right? I feel like most isekai characters don't look that fragile. You know, Subaru can take a punch. Subaru got his head chopped off. Like, Subaru can take a hit. Shield hero, my God, the man is all about defense. Shield hero can take a hit. Touka, nah. It's like Touka, nah. Right, but it doesn't have to be a negative. Like yeah, he's the weakest, but like he's still very powerful, right? And weakest in terms of sustainability, right? He's out of all, because I've seen in terms of main characters that have powers, like very, I won't say offensive powers, but you know, again, not the vending machine, but powers like that. Touka, from what I've seen, is probably the weakest out of the bunch, right? And you know, with these isekais and these main characters, they all have these crazy, unique abilities that level up and everything. Touka's in that category because his skills can level up and, you know, get different other abilities, and it's just OP to its own degree, right? But then one can even argue, maybe if you can shield Touka's mouth shut, that might also stop his ability. Like, there's so many limitations to his ability, which I find very refreshing. So it's not an indictment on him. I wish more isekais had things like that, where it's like, what was it, isekais anime in general, where it's like, hey, it's okay to have an OP character, but like, people don't notice it really, but like the enjoyment comes in the limitations, like, oh, these conditions need to be met before his ability can pop, you know? But and there are other isekais or other shows as well where it's like, we don't want a Superman. Like, and there's a reason why no other real, I mean, I'm about to go on a rant, but no other superhero show in DC has Superman, because they made this guy that had no limitations technically. Like Superman was pretty much perfect at everything he did. Everybody loved him, but then you try to create another superhero after that, and like nobody gets attracted to it. Nobody falls for it because you damn near made a character that was perfect. So what other character can possibly compete with that? Like, nobody wants a superhuman character that's good at everything. They're gonna watch it, maybe that first episode, but then it'll get boring. And that's just how it is, right? I mean, maybe one could make the argument for Saitama, but I don't think he's like all powerful. He's just a punch, right? So I guess if Saitama can't connect with his fist, he's not all powerful, all right? I don't think Saitama's even like the fast. Like Saitama can't do everything. They made a superhero in Superman that can do everything, right? And that's not attractive. So again, that rant just went into the whole limitations on characters are good. That is what keeps us watching. That is what keeps the thrill going in terms of like, all right, well, how is it going to get out of this situation? Because we know the limitations of certain scenarios of that character. That's what makes it engaging, right? With Touka, maybe this improves as the series go on. Again, we don't read over here, right? Except for, again, my anime, right? My manga, we read that, but you know, so if you guys are reading the books or the light novels or whatever, and his defense goes to like 1,000, like great. But from what I've seen in the anime, his defense is trash, right? I think there's an anime. I mean, you guys can probably put it in the chat. There's an anime about this girl that's all about defense, you know? So, I mean, listen, I love me a good offensive character, but defenses do win out here too. Like the unstoppable force versus the impenetrable object, you know, like when those things clash, something gotta give. So good defense does go a long way. Hopefully Touka's defense gets better over time. I'm almost finished the show, but I'm almost finished the series, but I'm at the point where, like I said, I was just saying to myself, like, I feel like he's really good offensively, but I feel like if somebody just got like a real good punch and somebody got like a good slap it, like it don't have to be, I feel like if somebody slaps him on the back of the neck really hard, he going down. Like, just like, you know how like you in a fight and you trying to like, you saying to yourself in the fight, like, I just need to get one good one. If I could just get that one good one, I might lose the fight, but I might have a chance. That's how I feel with Touka. If it was main character of one isekai versus Touka, right, in terms of who would win, that's how I feel in the fight. That other isekai character just needs to get one good hit, one solid hit, probably win the fight. That's how little I have faith in Touka's defense. That's probably why, and like I said, there's probably more context to it, but that's probably why he hired Sura, or probably butcher her name, but all these characters around him that do have those capabilities, right? I think Shield Hiller ended up doing that too, like he hired characters to be like his sword or whatever, but truth be told, he could probably handle his own. Like those characters are essentially extra at that point in regards to how skilled he is. Touka will probably get to that point where he's just that skilled. But again, I feel like any character that's going against him, if you could just get that one good punch, right? That's in boxing, just that one good jab, he might go down. Right? That's all I'm saying. You might still lose the fight, but at least if I was in that anime where if I was fighting him, that's how I would feel. I'm like, man, he probably gonna like just say the word and paralyze me, but if I could find a way to hit him or sneak up behind him before you can even say it, I might got a chance. Maybe not even that. Maybe if I find a way to get behind him, cover his mouth, and then start, I might win the fight. That's how confident I feel in my abilities, and that's how little I feel in Touka's defense. All right, but again, the way he's playing it, he's such an intelligent character that you can tell like he's not going to put himself in that position because of what he's done so far in the series and the people that he's put around him in the situation. Like he's one of those characters that's very well aware of his limitations. All right, he's not like a Goku where it's like not really aware of his limitations, just keep going at it until he levels up. Like he's very well aware of his limitations, so he's very cautious. So I don't think even if he's like the weakest character defensively wise, I don't think he's ever going to put himself in a position to be that vulnerable, right? But if you do, you got a chance, all right? But again, I'm almost finished with Failure Frame. I'll have a final review once I get through. It's only like 12 episodes, so I've been distracted with other things. But Once I get those final episodes, I'll give my totality review of it. But again, not a bad show. Definitely nothing I haven't seen before, but I'm looking to be surprised. Me personally, I feel like I'm waiting to the point. I feel like if you're watching the show, you kind of in the same boat. You're waiting to the point where Touka meets his classmates, and his classmates start kind of joking on him, like, "Oh, you survived," and then he surprises them with how good he is. I feel like everybody's waiting on that. If you've seen any anime, any underdog anime, that's essentially the moment that you're looking for. All right, but as far as we can tell, Touka's already OP, but he ain't got no defense. All right, but yo, it's your man MAS. I'm out.